This is the VoiceOver Marketing Podcast, episode number 66.
Hi, this is voice actress Erin Lillis, a narrator from the No Sleep podcast, and Jenny Walker in the audio drama Congeria. And you're listening to the VoiceOver Marketing Podcast with John Melly.
This is what a cracker sounds like when you chew it next to a microphone. With your mouth open. And you smack. Kind of annoying, huh? Yeah. Hey there, it's John. Thanks for spending some time with me today. I want you to know I really appreciate it. I know you have a lot of things competing for your time and attention: family, work, projects, other audiobooks, other programs that you take in, and just the day-to-day functions of life. So for you to make the time investment to listen to the show is very, very much appreciated. A couple of other shout-outs. I want to thank coaching clients Kevin Majuri and Andrew Packard. So thanks, gentlemen. I appreciate that. And if you're interested in having me work with you for an hour or so, make sure you reach out to Mike at johnmelly.com, and he can give you all the information on how to get on my calendar. Would love to speak with you. We had a lot of good reaction to my last episode, episode 65, how you can become a voiceover athlete too. Joel Jacob interviewed me about the Voiceover Athlete Wellness Club, what it's about. And in that episode, I offered everybody a free month membership to that. And I want to thank Casey Logan and Cecilia Fountain for enrolling and checking it out. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the emails that I got from you, Cecilia, with regard to a typo in one of the areas in the written content. So that has been corrected. And that free month offer is still available to you. If you want to take advantage of that and try everything that I've set up for the VoiceOver Athlete Wellness Club, just go to this episode, episode 66, at voiceovermarketingpodcast.com and look for the link that says, try the Wellness Club, the VoiceOver Athlete Wellness Club, for 1 month for free. It's a $39 gift to you just for listening to this podcast. Also want to thank John Florian from VoiceOver Extra for his support of the VoiceOver Athlete Wellness Club, and Joel Jacob again for doing that interview of me to basically explain what it's about and why I created it. For everybody who is a member of the club, I want you to know and remind you that I put up a new section on visual reset drills on how you can relax your eyes from spending a lot of time at the computer. So if you want to check that out, there's a whole new module on that I've just started to put some stuff on. And also, people were asking about an audio version of the content of the VoiceOver Athlete concept. That's an audio program. It's basically the audio from my presentation with John Florian from VoiceOver Extra that we did not quite 2 years ago now. So if you want to check that out, that's new content up there for you. And if you are not a member and you want access to all of that for free for a whole month, just go to this episode of the VoiceOver Marketing Podcast, episode 66. Click on the link, try it for free for 30 days. It is my gift to you, and I hope you use it in good health. So that's that. The other thing I wanted to say is, hey, this is pretty cool. We have had, as of this recording, 103,894 downloads of all the various odd and sundry episodes of the VoiceOver Marketing Podcast. I like to say it that way. I don't know why. It reminds me of a high school history teacher I had, Jack Coleman. He would say, "Good morning, boys and girls. Would you kindly take out your notebooks and pencils, bloody finger, crayon, whatever writing utensil you have, and we will get down to the business at hand." That was his preamble for the day's lecture. Always enjoyed that class. I had him for 2 years. Anyway, various odd and sundry. I think it comes from that. I'm not sure. We all have these little things that we use, right? What are some of your verbal crutches? I drive my nieces and nephews crazy when I say, "Hey, have you found my pita bacon fajita and a pita?" Or apple cheddar tuna pita? And they just look at me and they say, "Oh, Uncle John, no." I have one nephew who actually says yes, and he tries to tell me where I can find it. It's very interesting, this kid. He's 6 years old. And he's the only one who has said, "Yeah, I know where it is," and then tries to help me find it. I think we need to watch out for him. Anyway, today I've got some successes and Q&A. We got a voice message through the SpeakPipe app where squeaky, squeaky, squeaky mic, squeaky mic, squeaky mic arm, squeaky mic arm. Okay. I think we got that settled down. We got a voice message from Jason from Sydney, Australia on the SpeakPipe app. This is so cool. I'm here in Boston, Massachusetts. Jason is probably an entire day ahead of me. So I'm recording this on Wednesday. It's probably Thursday. Jason, how are you? Anyway, let's listen to Jason's question.
Hi there. How you going? My name's Jason. I'm from Sydney, Australia. I'm not sure when my message may get onto your show. My question is, I guess it's a dual question. I haven't really done anything in the voiceover industry before. Only a couple of times in the past, I've had a couple of paid jobs. But my question is, do you think there's a market out there for someone as a sole trader who wants to target small businesses and, offer the services as a voiceover artist, especially and exclusively for telephone greetings, telephone recordings, IVR recordings? I'm not sure if that's what they're called in America, but essentially where you call up a company and you hear the greeting, welcome to so-and-so, press 1 for this, press 2 for that. Do you think there's a market out there for someone if they wanted to exclusively market themselves just as that style of a voiceover artist? The second question is it okay to charge sort of mediocre, lower price points rather than your higher price points for that service as a voiceover artist? Love your show, and hopefully I get to hear my own voice and get to hear you talk about it soon. Ciao, bye.
Thank you, Jason, for sending that question in over the SpeakPipe thing. And anybody who wants to reach out to me directly, leave a voice message with a question or anything like that, just go to voiceovermarketingpodcast.com. On the right-hand side, there will be an app, a window that kind of pops up on the right-hand side. Just enter your email address, and then I think you get a minute and a half to record your question or your comment or what have you. So go ahead and do that if you are at all interested. So, Jason, the answer to your first question is yes. You can certainly offer automated voice response, teleprompts, however, interactive voice response, however you want to call that. You can certainly offer that as a service and make that the major part of your business. Someone that many folks in this in the voiceover community in the United States know of Susan Berkeley. And Susan Berkeley used to be on Howard Stern, and she's got a great voiceover coaching business, but she's also built a terrific business offering recorded voice prompts, voice messages, messages on hold, etc. She is also known as the voice for AT&T. So yes, you can definitely do that. One of the other episodes that we had a ways back, and I don't recall the number of it, but you can certainly search for it, is the riches and niches or niches. But I don't think you can say riches and niches. At any rate, you can certainly target a niche, a very fine-tuned segment of the economy, if you will, and you can specialize in that. And you can certainly become known as the go-to person for offering those services in Australia or wherever you want to market your services. I would also say that can be a market vertical, if you will, so that you can market your services in that area of automated voice response, interactive voice response, what have you, and that just be one part of your business. To give you an example, I have several verticals within my business. So I have voiceovers for commercials and promos. I do an awful lot of corporate training video voiceovers. I also have very, very specific programs produced for very, very specific types of professionals. I think I've talked about dentists. I've done things for lawyers. And I've created special programs just for those markets. So when I market to them as an expert audio production and voice talent for those particular types of businesses. I have the general background knowledge of how to be a voice talent. I also have the general background knowledge of and skills in production, editing, mixing, mix down, etc. So those are all transferable skills that I can bring to different market segments, and then I can develop a knowledge about specific industries. And by bringing that knowledge to those specific industries with the backdrop of the voiceover and the production skills, I can fine-tune my marketing message for those different markets. And I can create custom products and services for those markets. So you can certainly have multiple markets in your business that you market to, and you present them to different audiences as specialty products and services. I hope I'm making sense. So I know I've talked about my honeybees. So I haven't yet, but I may at some point, if I can figure out the best way to do this, offer voiceover and production services for honeybee something. Could be for beekeepers. It could be for people who have their own beehives. It could be for people who are researchers about honeybee health and wellness. I don't know. I'm just making that up. These ideas off the top of my head. But I could certainly take my knowledge and love of honeybees and their well-being and how they contribute to the overall health and well-being of humanity because of their ability to pollinate the foods that we eat, okay? So I can really dive down deep on this. And I could create products and services for that market. At the same time, I've talked about work for dentists. Over the course of time, I have interviewed and worked with so many dentists that there's an awful lot that I know about the dentistry profession. Am I a dentist? No. But I know the concerns that dental practitioners have about marketing their practices. I've done stuff with attorneys. There are different types of attorneys. There are real estate attorneys. There are personal injury attorneys. There are criminal defense lawyers. There are financial regulation compliance officer attorneys. There's elder law services. There's estate planning attorneys. There are maritime lawyers. There are all these areas of practice in the legal profession, and you can fine-tune your market to any one of those segments within a larger profession. So you could have your automated voice response vertical and say, hey, I'm the go-to guy in Sydney, Australia for your messages on hold, automated voice response. You can be that person. That does not prevent you from being the go-to person for a different market. I think I've somehow made that clear. Check that out. And if you want to see a model of that type of business, go to greatvoice.com. That's Susan's company, and you can see her voiceover services for voice prompts, voice narration, broadcast production. I'm just looking at the website now. She's also a voiceover talent trainer. She does voiceover training, corporate training, and other things. So, she's very talented. I've taken workshops with her. I've known her in marketing circles as well. So you can certainly check that out. So that's greatvoice.com, Jason, if you want to check that out. Maybe she's looking for someone to do voice work in Australia. You might be able to get on her roster. Who knows? I'm just throwing that out there. With regard to the second part of your question, is it okay for you to charge less than premium prices? I get this question a lot. I've seen this question recently within the Voiceover Marketing Podcast group on Facebook. Jason, I'm going to piggyback your question with one from Tommy Meyer, who's also a member of the Voiceover Marketing Podcast group on Facebook. And he asked a similar question. He said, what about someone who's kind of starting out with only one game under his belt, only a couple of voiceover jobs? My reply to that was, I've had this concern raised many times, and I understand where you're coming from. The best response that I've heard to that, and this is what my response to Tommy Meyer as well, is the best response I've heard to that concern, I'm just starting out, should I charge lower rates? Somebody said this, and I can't remember who said it to me. If you're the person who said this, please remind me it was you. But here's what that person said. If you were a house painter and you were just starting your painting business, would you tell your customer, hey, I'm just starting out as a house painter, so I'm going to charge you a lower rate because I'm just getting started? Here's the thing about rates is that, and I may have said this before, your rates are a positioning statement. They're part of your marketing. And I'm going to use this house painter example quite a bit. So if you contacted somebody, you pull up one of the home improvement recommendation and review sites, and you decide to call XYZ Painting Services to come and give you a quote on the house. And XYZ Painting Services pulls up and they go around your house and look at all the chips and there's maybe some new carpentry that needs to be done on the trim, etc. They give you a quote and they say, I'm relatively new at this. I'm just starting out. So I'm going to give you a deal. What you're implying, if you're that type of painter, is, hey, I'm going to practice on your house so I can get better. Now, if you're that customer and you're getting that quote, how are you feeling about what the end result is going to look like? If you went to a doctor and said, hey, or a dentist, hey, and the dentist said to you, I'm kind of new at this. Your tooth is the first one I'm going to take a drill to, so bear with me. But you know what? This filling, it's on me. I don't think so. You want to go in with somebody who positions themselves as confident. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to offer you the best service, and here's my fee. And the thought that runs through my head is I can remember my mom as a kid always saying, put a price on yourself. Don't settle. So, sure, you can charge lower rates. I don't recommend it for a whole host of reasons. And I've mentioned them before, and I hate to keep hearkening back to previous episodes, but I guess it does bear repeating that if you charge lower rates, you're going to have to do more work to make the same amount of money. So if you charge, if you quote a job for a set of voice prompts for somebody's phone system and you say, I can do it for $250 and you really could get $500 for it, then in order to get the $500 at the $250 rate, you're going to have to do 2 jobs. That means you're going to have to land 2 clients and you're going to have to record 2 sets of voice prompts. And you're going to have to edit 2 sets of voice prompts, assuming you edit your own audio. And you're going to have to mix them down. And you're going to have to invoice 2 different clients. And you're going to have to collect from 2 different clients. And you're going to have to do all the other administrative tasks for 2 different clients, as opposed to just 1. Now, obviously, you want multiple clients. You want more than 1 client. But my point is that the lower your price, somebody said to me, I'm sorry, there's so many 10. I do a bunch of 10-second and a lot of 15-second commercial messages. But somebody said, yeah, I'm really, really sorry about it. I'm like, you know what? It's pretty much the same amount of work to set up a 10-second. By the time you've analyzed the copy, performed it to the way that you want it, edited it, find the music that you want to use for it, and mix it all down. The only additional stuff for something longer is just the recording time and the editing time. All the other stuff that has to happen on the 10-second spot pretty much has to be done for any spot or any production. So you're still doing the work regardless per project. By increasing your fees for your project, first of all, you don't have to work to obtain as many clients, and you can spend more time making that product that you're doing for that one client better. Am I making sense? I hope so. So I can't tell you what to charge, but I want you to charge good rates. And the question that Tommy asked and the one that you're asking, Jason, I get a lot. And this is in response to an announcement I made on the Voice Over Marketing Podcast Facebook group. And I'll read the announcement. It's an admin announcement. Here it is. Hi, folks. A reminder that this is a marketing forum, so posts with a marketing theme are okay. With that having been said, we're also about elevating the profession of voiceover and voiceover skills. That means we're about charging high value fees for even higher value service for our clients. We're not here to promote rock bottom prices. That's all too common and the easy way out. You and your skills are more valuable than that. And I got a lot of people responding to that with thumbs up and hearts and all that kind of good stuff. And then other comments about, because this was in response to somebody saying that they use these freelance websites for really low prices. And that's not where we want to be. And so I understand the concern, but your prices can be a positioning statement. When somebody sees a price that is like, you want a little sticker shock. I'll be perfectly candid with you. You want, wow, okay, this person's serious about this. This gets into a whole other thing about pricing, but prices can be a filtering mechanism, okay? So there's a reason. I'm just going to put it right out there. You want to coach, you want an hour with me? That's $175, okay? And I do that for a reason. It does two things. It filters out a lot of people. People who listen to the podcast and they say, hey, I wonder what it costs. I can't tell you the number of people that reach out and say, hey, Mike, can you tell me about John's coaching services? I get this email from him all the time. So-and-so is interested in an hour. Okay, give him the email. Here's what's going to happen if you reach out for an hour of coaching, okay? And people do it. People sign up and they get coaching from me. But here's what happens a lot is people go, $175? Forget it. And I never hear from them again. And you know what? That's fine. I've saved myself some time. My time is worth that. I can get that. I do get that. And I'm being perfectly honest with you, and I'm hoping a little of this rubs off on you. You need to use your pricing to position yourself. Now, my coaching is worth that money and more because I've been at this a while. I've seen a lot of things. And what that fee does is it buys the person who works with me speed. It saves them time. It's going to cost them more in time and money to try and figure it out on their own, but they don't even know what they don't know. I don't know everything, but I know an awful lot about voiceover, and I know an awful lot about marketing. So the reason I'm talking about this in this way is that your prices, your fees, position you, and they're going to help position you with clients. They're going to filter people for you. You can't be all things to all people. You have to focus your efforts. Your time is your most valuable resource, so you might as well get paid well for it. The amount of time you've spent on this podcast, and this may get a lot of people to drop off right now, but you're never getting that back. I'm never getting back the time that I'm spending recording this episode. It's gone, right? I'm never getting it back. You can always get more money. You really can. You can always get more money. You can always buy more food. You can always grow food. You can always buy more clothing. You can get a new car, get a new to you car. You can always get a new house. Those things are replaceable. Your time isn't. So you might as well get paid well for it. And here's another thing. When you charge good fees, good prices for your services, you're going to get a better client for multiple reasons. Because if they're willing to pay you for the services, they understand and respect your services. They value what you bring to the table. They get it. You're not going to have a client who's going to be questioning you on why you're doing everything. Have you ever noticed that a person who doesn't want to pay a lot and you say, yeah, okay, I'll do the job, and they become the biggest drain on your calendar and on your day and on your week until you're finally so sick of the project and you get it out the door that you're like, yeah, okay, that was totally not worth the time and effort it took for that amount of money. We've all been there. We've all had that client. And you're like, I don't ever want to hear from them again. And when they email you again afterward, and they say, I mean, I see this all the time on the Facebook threads. What about the client who comes back after you've done all the work and they say, hey, we don't really like it. And they want you to do it all over again, but they've changed the entire script, but they want you to do it again for free. You do not want those people because you have to explain all of that to them. That no, my time and effort, you changed here we set the table. You told everybody we're going to have barbecue. And so wear dirty clothes so that you don't mind getting barbecue sauce. That was the invitation. And then you show up to the party and everybody's in black tie and evening gown. And you're like, what's this? You're there with your flannel shirt on and jeans and flip-flops, expecting to be able to drink and grab a beer out of the cooler as opposed to having to walk up to the cash bar and you are sticking out like a sore thumb. No. They changed the event without letting you know. You don't want to be in that situation. So price is such a thing, man. It's important. Make the price work for you in multiple ways. Make the price work for you in positioning, sorting out the clients, getting rid of the people who are I like to call them the tire kickers. Hey, what would it cost to do this? And you tell them and you never hear from them again. Happens all the time. I love when a client says, yeah, okay, I'll pay you that. You know why? Because I don't have to explain it to them. They get it. And when I have a coaching client that comes in and says, yeah, okay, here's the money, we get right to business. And I know I have someone on the other end of the phone or on the other side of the computer taking notes and is going to take action. And they're going to have better results because they've got an investment in this. If I did it for free, they might take notes and never implement it. And then they walk away from it saying, yeah, it was good, but whatever. But if I have somebody pay for my time, wow, I got an awful lot out of this. I had actually had somebody say, I got what I needed in 10 seconds from you. And I can pull the quote. I can pull the audio where the person said that. All right. So I think you get it. Use your prices, raise your prices, charge more, sort out the tire kickers, and make more money in less time. That's what this podcast is about. So, Jason, I hope that answers your question. Thank you for sending it in. Anybody else has a question they want to send me, use the SpeakPipe app at voiceovermarketingpodcast.com. Wait for the SpeakPipe app to appear on the right-hand side of the screen and take it from there. All right. So now, here's a success story. I got an email from Albie Robles. The subject was, hey, I thought you'd appreciate this. And so here's the message. It said, hey, John, a few weeks ago, I wrote and recorded a short spot for Rockwell Razors as part of my demo. I sent it to them and told them I was a voiceover artist and had done this as part of my demo. They posted it on their Facebook page. And LB said he told them they were more than welcome to. They added some images in order to turn it into a video, and he sends me the link, and I'll put the link in the show notes for the episode. Albie then says, I posted that video in a Reddit shaving group and got this response from someone in that group. Quote, your video inspired me to finally pull the trigger and order a Rockwell razor. End quote. So Albie did something really cool, something that I probably wouldn't have thought to do. So see, I learn from people who send stuff into the podcast. So thank you. Here's what Albie did. He took a screenshot of that quote and he sent it to the folks at Rockwell Razors. And he got this response. Quote, dude, that's unreal. We're filming some new footage over the upcoming weeks. Let's hook up on a proper video. I'll send you over a script in a few weeks. End quote. Since then, they've asked for and accepted my rates. I'm pretty excited since this is the outcome I was hoping to get out of this experiment. I definitely plan on doing this again in the future. How cool is that? So, Albie, yeah. In my email to you, I say, hey, can I share your story in an episode? And he said, of course. So, big shout out to Albie Robles for some, what we would call guerrilla marketing. If you haven't read that book, please do so. And some stealth marketing, as they would say now. Good for you, man. Congratulations. That's a little bit longer than I expected to go on today. I want to thank you for listening. I got some more stuff already recorded for upcoming episodes, so thank you very much. Again, if you're interested in coaching, reach out to mike@johnmelly.com. Get on my calendar. You already know the rate. It's $1.75 an hour. Go ahead and do it. We'll buy you speed. Not the drugs, just time compression. All right. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.
Our program originates in the Boston studios. We hope you'll join us again. Until then, we bid you au revoir, keep your chin up, and the best of luck.
Well, that's it for this episode of the Voiceover Marketing Podcast. If you like this podcast, please subscribe to it at voiceovermarketingpodcast.com so you'll get notices of new episodes, and please share it with your friends and colleagues in the voiceover world. Also, it would be a huge help if you'd like this podcast and rate it on iTunes to help keep it near the top of the list. Feel free to share your comments and questions about this episode and future topics you'd like discussed at voiceovermarketingpodcast.com. And if you'd like more information on one-on-one coaching with me and mastermind group opportunities where we focus on growing your business, feel free to drop me a line at my cyber assistant's email address at mike@johnmelly.com. Thanks for listening. Now go out there and share your voice with the world.